Okay, problem 2 asks us to do lower of cost or market, but it says according to international financial standards. So remember, U.S. GAAP says lower of cost or market depending on floor and ceiling, within the floor and ceiling. IFRS says lower of cost or net realizable value, which we call the ceiling. So let's do it both ways. We'll do GAAP here. So I'm going to have the ceiling, and I'm going to have the floor, and I'm going to have item product number 1, product number 2, and product number 3. Okay, so the ceiling for product number 1 is the selling price minus the disposal. So that gives me the ceiling price for product number 1, 54. And that has $6 worth of profit, so that has a floor of 48. We'll do the same thing for product number 2. So product number 2 has a selling price of 141 minus $54 worth of disposal cost, so that gives us a net realizable value in IFRS speak, ceiling in GAAP speak, of 87, and that 87 includes profit of 44, so the floor is 43. And for product number 3, the selling price is 91, and that includes $17 of disposal costs. So that gives us a floor of 74, a ceiling of 74, and that includes $19 of profit, so it gives us a floor of 55. So let's go through looking at product number 1. Our replacement cost is 25. Replacement. Our historical cost is 27. And we'll do the same thing for product number 2. Our replacement cost is 106. And our historical cost was 97. So our historical cost was 97, so that's also up here. That's historical cost. And let's take a look at product number 3. Our replacement cost was 47, so that's down here. And our historical cost was 57. That's right up there. Now, under U.S. GAAP, we would cross out the top and choose the middle. Cross out the top and choose the middle. Cross out the top and choose the middle. So that would be under U.S. GAAP. So under U.S. GAAP, the lower of cost or market for product 1 would be 27. For product 2, it would be 87. And for product 3, it would be 55. That's under U.S. GAAP. IFRS asks us to look at the lower of cost or market, but instead of market, it says lower of cost or net realizable value. So for product 1, we would use the designated market value. Okay, what they're calling designated market value for product 1 is the ceiling. It's 54. Remember, they call designated market value NRV, or designated market, okay? and the cost was 27, and we get to pick the lower of those two. So for this case, it would be 27. For product number 2, the designated market value, the ceiling, is 87. The cost was 97. So we would use the lower of those two, 87. Now for item number 3, the designated market value, the ceiling, is 74. The historical cost that we paid for it was 57, and we would pick the lower of those two. So you see that under US GAAP, product 1 is the same, and under US GAAP, product 2 and IFRS are the same. The difference is only found in product 3, where under US GAAP it would be 55, but under IFRS it would be 57, because we only get to pick between the ceiling NRV, the designated market value, and the cost.